all pomp and circumstance, and remain standing until the conclusion of the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I would like to invite Daughters of American Revolution Good Citizen Award winner Whitney Byard to the podium to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Whitney. You may be seated. Good evening, and welcome to the 2022 commencement ceremony for North Muskegon High School. I stand before you all as the proud father and principal of the 87th grade graduating class of North Muskegon this evening. I was hoping to see some staff dap-ups on the way up. We'll have to work on that for next year. The following individuals are seated on the stage with me tonight. If you can hold your applause to the end. Dr. Kurt Babcock, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. John Allen, District Improvement Specialist. Mr. Will Meyer, Board of Education President. Dr. Mary Moulton, Board of Education Vice President. Ms. Carolyn Nadeau, Board of Education Secretary. Mr. Stephen Bliss, Board of Education Treasurer. And Board of Education Trustees, Ms. Susan Burmeister, Ms. Lisa Winter, and Mr. Ben Shear. Thank you for all you do for our schools. At this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Moulton up for a few comments.
Good evening. On behalf of the North Muskegon Board of Education, I welcome you. Graduates, parents, family, community members, I'll get through this, underclassmen, faculty, and staff to the commencement ceremonies for the 87th graduating class of North Muskegon Public Schools. Serving on the Board of Education is both an honor and a privilege for which I thank this community. It's a special honor as a parent of a graduating senior to speak at commencement. Tonight you will hear from two school board members, myself and Mrs. Carolyn Nadeau, as well as Superintendent Dr. Kirk Babcock, and as we've already heard, our principal, Mr. Ken Byard. All of us, proud parents of the class of 2022, and grateful stewards of North Muskegon Public Schools. Graduations are a time of celebration and a time of reflection for all of us, and they often evoke conflicting emotions. The contrast between this week's graduation festivities and somber current events is unsettling. But I believe there is enough room in all of our hearts for both joy and grief simultaneously. And tonight, we choose to focus on you, our graduates. I had prepared my words days ago. Then I attended the baccalaureate last night and realized this class already gets it. In the words of your fellow graduate, Whitney Byard, who knocked it out of the park last night, Whitney, each and every one of us will make a difference. We will walk out of North Muskegon holding the power of change in our hands. We do not settle for good enough. We are young trailblazers with open minds and hearts. We are the change and the voice, and we are the difference. Whitney ended her speech with the question, how will you become the difference? I will answer that question by saying you have already been the difference. This class is leaving a very powerful legacy. It involves my daughter, Olivia, who I'm not going to look at. Her legacy belongs to all of us. Her family, this amazing community we call home, the staff and administration at North Muskegon, and most importantly, all of you, the class of 2022. You own Libby's legacy. Without you, it would not have been possible. I have to pause here and speak directly to Libby. I'm going to look at her. Liv, ooh, excuse me. Moulton Street was not named after you. I know we should have told you this a long time ago. For any of our out-of-town guests, that's Moulton Street. It runs right behind the school. It's not named after anyone in your family. When your grandfather moved to North Muskegon in 1976, Moulton Street was already here. That's not your legacy. But I ask all of us to use it as a reminder of the difference this class has made. When Livy crosses this stage and receives her certificate of completion, she will be the first person with Down syndrome to be included and graduate from North Muskegon Public Schools. In fact, Livy is the first to attend North Muskegon past kindergarten. Yes, she split her time in high school with Reese Puffer's regional classroom, but that never made Livy any less a Norseman. Nor did any of you treat her as anything less than one of your own. Some of you may be wondering why I'm even talking about this. And that's awesome, because it means you've grown up with inclusion being the norm. To those of us of my generation or prior, it's something we never could have imagined at your age. I would like to take this moment to thank you. This class has done an amazing job of including Livy in all of the big moments. The list is long, the biggest, of course, homecoming, something for which we will forever be grateful. And Molly, you will always have a special place in my heart. But more important are the small moments. Sitting next to Livy in class, partnering for presentations, sharing a bus seat and later offering car rides, sharing lunch, joining in spontaneous dance parties in the middle of history class. Sorry about that, Cody. This class made it possible for Livy to be just another kid at North Muskegon. Being the first is difficult. We refer to Livy's journey as being perfectly imperfect. We know there have been difficult moments for all of you, but there have been far more beautiful moments. As you leave North Muskegon, wherever your path takes you, whether that's a university, a community college, the workforce, or some other path, there's a high probability you will be the expert in inclusion. Not because you understand the literature or the law, but because you have lived it. Last night, senior choir members sang the following lyrics. I want to try to touch a few hearts in this life, leave nothing less than something that says I was here. You were here. You have touched hearts. You have been the difference. Thank you and congratulations. It's now my honor to introduce Mrs. Carolyn Netto.
Thank you, Dr. Moulton, Esquire. Before I start my prepared remarks, I want to ask something of everybody here tonight. Tonight, this weekend, and beyond is a time for joy and celebration. Think about how you feel right now. Think about how you got here. Do you feel lucky or blessed or grateful? And maybe it's a melting pot of all sorts of different emotions. But at some point during this next week or two, I'd like you to just take some time and think about in your own way, in your own time, and just think about those who will never have this experience. And then I want you to feel lucky, blessed, and grateful all over again. Okay. I am really, really very honored to have the privilege of speaking again at a child's graduation. I have to admit this time it was really hard to find the right words because I have known many of you since preschool. I've watched Bo and his friends grow up from being bobblehead mini-mites to two-time back-to-back district basketball champions. I've watched all of you during field trips and in all of the things that you've done and play dates, and then going to prom and actual dates. It's really hard for me to realize that we're here right now. But your high school experience has been both conventional and unconventional at the same time. The combination of established activities and traditions with outside factors like COVID, COVID, thank you, has provided a unique experience. This experience will form a common ground that you're going to share with your peers across the country. It's the foundation you will take with you as you move forward, but it's the uniqueness that is going to propel you upward. The usual opportunities in athletics, school curriculum, and extracurricular achievements have taught you to compete and persevere while reaching your goals. And I might add, in doing so, you have exceeded everyone's expectations. If anyone was present for the awards ceremonies, there has been outstanding academic achievements, scholarships, athletic achievements, musical achievements, artistic achievements, and the list just goes on and on. And you did this all amid a very unusual high school experience. Where some of us feared that all those opportunities, and especially the academic achievements, would be lost, you all kept it together and kept moving forward. The complex backdrop of your high school career saw COVID protocols and division and unrest both at home and abroad. We all faced and continue to face this together. We were and are all scared. However, these times gave everyone a chance to learn to navigate difficult situations with patience, grace, and sensitivity. Despite the tornado swirling around you, you all took this lesson to heart. These three characteristics add depth to your experience here at North Muskegon. They also define your high school years differently from others. When future troubles arise, competition and perseverance will move you forward toward reaching your goals. But learning to use patience and grace with sensitivity will help you lead others positively, propelling us all upward. You have the chance and the choice to use this unique experience to build a bright future through your eyes and your hearts. To the class of 2022, your family and friends, congratulations. It is now my honor to introduce our next speaker, Superintendent Dr. Kurt Babcock.
Thank you, Ms. Netto. Isn't it awesome to see all these happy faces? Pretty fun. Thank you for being here, everybody. Is that too loud? Well, as the program states, my name is Kurt Babcock, and I am the incredibly proud superintendent of North Muskegon Public Schools. But one of my favorite things to be called is Brady Babcock's dad. As you've heard, this is emotional for us because we've all seen you guys grow up. So I don't know if I'm the only one in the room, but I'm guessing that there's the stadium. Others have been doing the roller coaster ride of emotion. And so bear with me as I will struggle probably through a little bit of this today. So this graduate thing comes way too fast. But what it does is it makes you think about a lot of great memories. Since I know all of us have been going through many wonderful memories lately, I thought I'd use that as my theme today. So I need to say thank you to Gabby. She helped me get you guys a survey that gave me some things to use today and bring back some memories from elementary school, middle school, and high school. So here's the deal. I'm going to say a few things from each of those, and you're going to help me out by raising your hand if for the first thing I say, or leave it down for the second. So we're going to try this. In elementary school, your favorite food was, raise your hand for macaroni and cheese, leave it down for pizza. Macaroni and cheese, pizza. All right, got that? Pizza comes up a few times here. So your favorite memories during elementary school, were there many field trips or recess? All right. You guys are getting it already. Thank you. I do need to highlight Serenity's response. She said when she first moved here, she would make clothes from duct tape to help her make new friends. Well played, Serenity. From your elementary years, your favorite TV show, Hannah Montana or SpongeBob? Kind of knew your hand would stay down, Tinu. And Abby and Andrew, thanks for throwing Scooby-Doo some props. He's my favorite, so. Favorite memory from middle school, your March Madness events or 6th grade camp? Lots of 6th grade camp, yep. Somehow that creeps into graduation every year, doesn't it? Your favorite TV show during your middle school years? Vampire Diaries or that 70s show? Okay. And it's not surprising that in middle school we started to see YouTube videos show up as one of the popular things. And fruit pushed out macaroni and cheese with pizza still hanging around. Favorite possession in middle school? Your gaming system or your phone? Split, yep. Adrian, I loved your response, and I hope you are wearing that necklace from Grandpa. Let me see. Your favorite high school memory? Your sporting events? Or there's just so many I can't pick one? All right, a lot of memories. High school favorite TV show? Criminal Minds or The Office? All right, some cheers for The Office. It's not surprising with this group that I've gotten to know really, really well that Michigan Out of Doors also was represented in that pick from high school. Thanks, Nathan. Your favorite food during high school? Yes, pizza's still around, so we're going to do this. Pizza or anything besides pizza? Still some pizza? All right, all right. And I know that I'm not alone in making a very easy guess on what your favorite possessions are right now, your phones and your vehicles. A couple of you told me that you even named your vehicles. So. I also asked the graduates what their plans are after graduation. And as everybody here knows, we've got an incredibly bright group of kids in front of us today that will be entering the workforce, the armed forces, and going to some great schools. University of Michigan, Western, Eastern, Hope, the College of Charleston, Muskegon Community College, Michigan Tech, and Brigham Young, just to name a few. And as seems to be the case every year, I think there's going to be a small mini North Muskegon village in East Lansing next year again. I know it sounds cliche to say that you are our future. And while as much as that is true, I'm going to take a little different approach. Your time here at North Muskegon has prepared you for success no matter your chosen path. You are academically prepared through the rigor of the curriculum you have all completed successfully. You are prepared and you epitomize the Norse tradition of educational excellence. You have also embraced philanthropy, volunteerism, and you've gained extra skills through your many extracurricular activities. We could not be more proud of you. I would like to thank all of you for being such an amazing group. You've been a complete joy to watch grow up and mature into the wonderful people you are today. Thank you for so many incredible memories. There are some really important people watching your every move today. Your family, your friends, your teachers. Look around, find them in the stands, find them in the chairs, and I think we should give them a huge round of applause, graduates. Class of 2022, you have made today a great day to be a Norseman. Thank you. And to close with a comment from your classmate, J.B. Basson. He said this to all of you: I will miss all of you guys, and I can't wait to see where the future takes us. Thank you, graduates, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Babcock. And the answer is always the office, in case you're wondering. At this time, will senior orchestra and choir members join the rest of your group for the seniors' final performance of We Won't Stop Dreaming.
dreaming in the ocean. Look around, isn't this a new day? Make a move, doing things a new way. A new way. 'Cause this is our world, this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let 'em shine. This is our place, the human race. And we won't stop dreaming, we won't stop dreaming.
We can see forever,
Forever,
you and me doing it together.
together. Light is up, we can see a million stars. Look at us, don't you see we've come so far? Yeah, we've come so far. This is our world, this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let 'em shine. This is our place, the human race. We won't stop dreaming, we won't stop dreaming. Standing at the crossroads, feeling how the wind blows, we can soar above the clouds. Every moment is a heartbeat, every breath feeling so sweet. Who can say what happens now? Our world, this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let 'em shine. This is our place, the human race. We won't stop dreaming, no, we won't stop dreaming. This is our world, this is our time. These are our plans, we're gonna let 'em shine. This is our place, the human race. And we won't stop dreaming, no, we won't stop dreaming.
Thank you, Miss Corbin and Miss Slimko. By the way, Miss Slimko, happy birthday. Do you want me to sing to you? I'll take that as a no. I'd like to take this opportunity to make a few comments. First, if my eyes water up, it's only because the pollen is so strong. I'm obviously not crying. Secondly, a sincere thank you to Ms. Dombrowski and Ms. Ripstra for all of your help this past week, today, and for helping us steer the ship through a difficult school year. I would also like to acknowledge the efforts of freshmen Thomas Hogan, Zoe Wiles, and CJ Bennett for all of their technical assistance today and this past week. And a special thank you to Sean Lane and Mr. Bozell for their help with setup for this event today. Speaking of Mr. Bozell, and I know you can hear me somewhere, he, along with Mr. Wall, Mr. Slocum, and Ms. Lejoie, are participating in their last Norse graduation. I hope the next chapters of your life are fulfilling, and we thank you for your tireless, often thankless years of service, commitment, and passion for the blue and gold. May retirement treat you all well. Thank you. Now let's get down to the good stuff. Your first student speaker, Taylor Champ Young.
Hey guys. All right. Hello everyone. Today is an exciting day, and I'm honored to have been chosen by my fellow classmates to speak at such an occasion. I'd like to start by thanking Dr. Babcock, the Board of Education, Mr. Byard, North Muskegon faculty and staff, and especially our honored guests for your investment in all of our lives and for molding us into the young men and women you see before you today. I would also like to give a big congratulations to all of you for being here. We all know the world we live in is plagued with dangers, but 2 years ago, the class of 22 was faced with an unexpected dose of adversity. In March of 2020, we were told to clean out our lockers, go home, and remain in isolation for 2 weeks until the COVID outbreak was taken care of. 2 weeks stretched into 2 months, which stretched into 2 years of our high school experience out the window. Although it was not easy, I can't think of another group of people I would have want to have gone through that with, and I'm forever inspired by your resilience during those hard times. And finally, after all those laggy Google Meets and time away from the people we love, we still managed to get here today to receive our high school diplomas. So let's give us a big round of applause. It was only 4 years ago we came to the labyrinth known as North Muskegon High School. As young, timid freshmen, we found ourselves lost in its halls, as if we hadn't been in the same building since Discovery Kindergarten. Though nervous at first, we were quickly taken over by the welcoming and home-like atmosphere that is North Nation. We competed against the other grades in homecoming, and were rightfully awarded last place in every competition. We were more excited than ever to attend sporting events and took part in the best student section this school has ever seen. We finally learned what a darty was, even though we were never invited. We started getting the hang of things, and for many of us, sophomore and junior year brought experience, though for many more of us, it meant a case of stage 1 senioritis. And now, here we are, done with high school, afflicted and overwhelmed with senioritis. We've survived a global pandemic, a polar vortex, and the great kickball scandal of 2015. Miss Peck, if you're here, I love you, but I still lose sleep over that call. Now, at the end of our career as high school students, we have an opportunity to take on the world, to find and pursue our passions, to leave a legacy. Whether it's through recognition, financial success, or TikTok stardom, I have no doubt in my mind that many of you will go on to build your own legacies. But those aren't the legacies I'm challenging you to leave. It's to leave those with whom you cross paths a little more happiness and hope. Famous author Shannon Alder once said, "Carve your name on hearts, not tombstones." A legacy is etched into the minds of others and the stories they share about you. Our time here together as a senior class will not be remembered by grades, popularity, likes, or favorites, but by our relationships. The kind of person you were, and then the kind of person you chose to be. These are legacies, the kind we must leave. Class of 22, it's been lit. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very best. Thank you. And now I'd like to welcome our next student speaker, Allie Lindsay.
Thank you, Champ. Graduates, family members, friends, and staff, it is truly an honor to be speaking here today. Today is the day we have dreamt of, May 27th, 2022. When I look back on our times as students at North Muskegon, I picture it as an art gallery. Framed masterpieces of every school dance, every Pops concert, every basketball game, and every shared memory the 81 of us have had. The first painting I was introduced to is titled September 7th, 2015, my first day as an official Norseman. I stood small in stature at a mighty 4'7", but confident that my big personality would make up for my lack of height and amaze you guys, my new classmates. With my Vera Bradley lunch bag in hand and my heart full of expectations, I began my fated first day. Since this first painting was added, hundreds of more have followed suit. In the middle of the gallery lies a painting titled The Student Section. A couple of months ago, someone from our rival school said to me, and I quote, "I am scared of your student section," and I have never been more proud. As Norsemen, we have made it a point to show up to basketball games, soccer games, volleyball games, orchestra concerts, and everything in between. From a young age, we saw the senior classes before us, setting an example of what support and encouragement means, and how our student section beautifully embodies that. I am proud to be standing here today, knowing that the class of 2022 inspired the younger Norsemen and continued the tradition of school pride. Another beautiful painting is titled Family. I'm sure you are all aware, but for a few years, all three of my sisters and I were in the same building. Although this could be annoying at times, like when I would wear my sister's shirts and couldn't exactly hide it from them in a school this size, I am truly grateful that I got to look up to my older sisters and my younger sister, not just because she's 8 inches taller than me. And while there are many bright and colorful paintings, there are a few darker ones, like when Ryan Peoples threw up chocolate milk all over the cafeteria and then proceeded to mop it up. Or when the Gogebic cabin got yelled at for ding-dong ditching at 6th grade camp. Or the fact that half of our high school life was dimmed by masks, social distancing, and contact tracing. The painting titled COVID is definitely the lowest rated art piece in our gallery, but it did remind us all how much we took everything for granted. One of the most dearest paintings in our beloved gallery is titled Staff. Every single member of this faculty has touched someone's life, affected a kid's future, and inspired us in some way. North Muskegon is special because teachers go beyond just your third period, assigned homework, and plugging percentages into Power School. And while all of us have had a staff member that has impacted us, and I promised myself I wouldn't admit it until this day, I'd like to honor and acknowledge a teacher that has impacted me. Mr. Wall has not only challenged me academically, although if you're in my third hour calculus, you know the challenging is really more of a two-way street, but also had faith in my potential and in all of our potential at times when we didn't have faith in ourselves. So thank you, Mr. Wall, for the 17 years you have guided students and for allowing us to teach you what a fit check is. Your fit is fire today. In the midst of all the chaos laid my most favorite painting, North Muskegon High School, the pinnacle of our childhoods, the first step toward our desired futures, the roots needed in order for us to blossom. 1600 Mills, North Muskegon, Michigan, 49445, where we grew into 81 young adults. North Muskegon is a place that prepares us to leave, prepares us to succeed, but makes the act of moving on heartbreaking. Today, we pick up our paintbrushes and start our new masterpieces. Our futures are being formed with every stroke, every color, every new decision, and every lesson that we learned within the halls of North Muskegon Public Schools. Our paintings will all look different, filled with unique passions, intertwined with different belongings, each telling the story of the rest of our lives. In the next 10 years, maybe we will see Eliza Crawford on Broadway, or Kelty Blastic as a CEO, and I'm positive that Megan Hausman will still be out lifting every boy in our class. As we leave our beloved gallery and our shared path split into 81 different directions, one thing remains the same. Once a Norseman, always a Norseman. Congratulations, class of 2022. And our next speaker is one of my dearest friends, Gabriella Gaston. Roll Tide.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, y'all. Just kidding. It's Gabby, here to do a graduation speech at Fred Jacks Memorial Field. Thank you for the opportunity as class president to stand up here before you all and to have the chance to look back at our memories together. Finally, we are here at our senior graduation, the longest yet somehow shortest 13 years of our lives, coming to a close this evening. Tonight, or rather early tomorrow morning, for the first time, we will say goodbye to some of our classmates and be unsure when or if we will ever cross paths again. But for this one night, we have the opportunity to be together as an NM family and think back on all that we have been through together. Starting all the way back in kindergarten, when we were still learning how to tie shoes, shout out to Abby Bain, and wondering why the leprechauns destroyed our classroom but still gave us chocolate gold coins. When school was only half a day, those were the good days. Now to 1st and 2nd grade, learning sign language with Mrs. Clark, going to the John Ball Zoo, meeting our 5th grade buddies, and playing an all-time favorite game of Scooterville for the first time with Mrs. B. On to 3rd grade, finally passing the corner in the hallway and moving up to the big playground. Performing the annual 3rd grade Christmas musical, and Hunter being the best Elvis I have ever seen. 4th and 5th grade, playing Infected and Hunger Games in the playground. Mrs. Peck trying to cure all of us of the like disease, using Kik and Uvu to message our friends from our iPods, and performing 5th grade Funk You Up at 5th grade graduation. 7 years later, here we are, our senior graduation, but minus the Bruno Mars remix. Now, I'm sure we all have our fair share of memories from middle school, the good and the drama. From 6th grade camp and sensory garden building with Mr. Jarvis, to the Mackinac Island trip and being the first 8th grade class to lose the March Madness assembly that was basically rigged for us to win. We went through a lot in middle school. Like on the first day of science class with Mr. Ripstra, when the foolproof glass of water above Megan's head was in fact not foolproof for our class and resulted in an involuntary shower for first hour. Or for those of you who are in choir, when the fire alarm went off and we all had to evacuate in the middle of our Annie medley at our first Pops performance ever, let alone on the Frowenthal stage. Now, if we weren't already, middle school really put the class of 2022 on the map, maybe even known to some as one of those classes, but thankfully we've done some growing since then. Now high school. I will not sugarcoat it. Our high school experience was different than any other high school that came before us or will come after us. It was uniquely ours to experience and to figure out together. After experiencing the times of separation, I believe our class really felt the importance of being together and connecting with each other, and we became the closest we have ever been as a grade this year. We knew how it felt to be secluded into our own houses, and eventually our own blue and gold cohorts for over a year, and grew as people because of it. Thankfully, our senior year has been mostly back to normal, and we had the opportunity to experience a lot of our lasts together. I was grateful every day when I would walk into the senior hallway that it was this group of 81 people who experienced those times of confusion and unknowing together. Our grade really took to heart what it meant to be a Norseman and became the family that we are now. Within this familial community of North Muskegon, I have found many groups of people of which I would call my family, including student council, swim team, and golf. But I would really like to offer a personal thank you to choir, tennis, and my AP Environmental Science / 6th grade science class. Without these groups of people and teachers, I would not be the person I am today, and I could not be more thankful for Mr. Coach Cody Liverance, Mrs. Slimco, and Mr. Jarvis. I share this with you all, to both my class in front of me and classes behind me, to urge you to stay involved wherever you end up next. If we take away anything from our experience at NMHS, I hope it is how important being involved and together is to our physical and mental well-being. Working and collaborating with other people, whether it is in a club, a sport, a church, a musical group, or even a student section, which we are obviously very good at, is how we will support our generation in climbing out of the crater that March of 2020 left behind. As I leave North Muskegon, I hope to inspire students of all grades behind me, and most importantly, my own class before me, to get involved in whatever interests you. It is never too late to make those memories and form those connections as we once did. We need to surround ourselves with different people and welcome change into our lives wherever it may be. These are the experiences that will travel with us for a lifetime.
North Muskegon is and always will be a unique high school because of these experiences we had together. With grades kindergarten through 12th grade all under one roof, our NM family is something nobody can recreate outside of the 231, and we would not have wanted to grow up anywhere but here. Thank you, North Muskegon and class of 2022. Go Norse and roll Tide. Now I'd like to welcome, last but most certainly not least, Kelty Blastic.
Thank you, Gabby. Graduating from high school gives us a chance to reflect in a way we never really have before. We get to look back on the pictures and videos of the things we did back in middle school, see how much we've all changed, and remember how things used to be. But it also helps us to reflect on all the things we didn't do. Not just the things that got canceled, but the things we put off trying or never gave a chance. I remember being a freshman and watching the senior video at the end of the year when they told us what they regretted. None of them talked about the things they did do. They regretted the things they didn't do. They wished they'd been more involved and taken advantage of all the opportunities like joining clubs and going to events. They said that high school goes by really fast and we should try things out right away, not when it's too late. I remember not believing them and thinking, yeah, right, we still have 3 more years of this, and it'll never be too late. And now it is too late. They were right. It went by faster than we could have imagined, and now we're the ones looking back and regretting the things we didn't do. But high school obviously isn't the end. Some of us will go to university or MCC, and some to another path. The next few years are a fresh start where we can learn from our mistakes and our regrets from high school and do the things we wish we'd done here. Now we get to look back from the end of the tunnel and remember how it felt to be here. We have the perspective of what it's like to be out of time, so when the next part of our lives starts, we can remember our regrets and think ahead to our future selves, wearing our caps and gowns again. What things will we regret not doing? When I think of looking back with regret, I think about what Coach Witham would tell us before our football games. He would tell us that we would remember the games for the rest of our lives, so we should make sure that every play we gave it everything we have, or we would leave the game going, I wish I did that. We only had one chance to play every game we ever played in, just like most of us will only have one chance to be a college freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. I tried to think of the main reasons a lot of us probably have things we wish we'd done but didn't, and I came up with 2. Being too comfortable with being comfortable and not wanting to give things a chance. Wanting to give things, no. It's so easy to just do the bare minimum or skip out on things that it can seem like the best option. From my own experience, I didn't really feel like trying on the AP Lit test because I didn't really need to take it in the first place, but I signed up for it and the school already paid for it, so I decided to at least take it. When I got to the writing section, I was tired and I thought about giving up. Instead, I realized that I'd already finished the first part and it would be a waste of the effort I put in if I just quit. My essays probably still weren't very good, but at least I can look back now and know I couldn't have done any better. So do I think it was worth it? No. I already passed the AP Lang test, and I probably couldn't use my score for anything. But maybe it isn't that simple. It pushed me out of my comfort zone when I could have been at home doing nothing. It made sure I would never have to regret not taking it, and most importantly, it gave me free material for my graduation speech. Those little things I got out of it didn't make it worth it, but I don't regret taking it. That's why I think we don't regret the things we do as much as the things we didn't do. When we try the things that sound boring or difficult, we might not always enjoy it or be glad we did it, but we can learn from it and grow from it, or at the very least, complain to people about how bad it was. I think if we can remember what it was like to reflect, learn from that, and find the silver linings in things we try, we don't have anything to worry about. We can relax and live without regrets. We'll still make mistakes and we'll still be uncomfortable, but we'll never have to worry what if or think, I wish I did that. We'll either enjoy it or we'll realize exactly why we didn't want to do it in the first place, and we'll be fine with it because the alternative was doing nothing. Thank you.
So that's Kelty keeping it real. How about a final round of applause for all of our student speakers? Well done. Senior North singers, please join the rest of the choir at this time, and let's all enjoy our North singers under the direction of Miss Beth Slimko as they perform their traditional senior final song, Friends.
Backing up the trees God's planted in the fertile soil of you. Can't believe the hopes He's granted means a chapter in your life is through. 'Cause we'll keep you close as always. It won't even seem you gone. 'Cause our hearts in big and small ways will keep the love that keeps us strong. Friends are friends forever. The Lord's the Lord of them. Friends will not say never, 'cause the welcome will not end. Though it's hard to let you go, in the Father's hands we know that a lifetime's not too long to live as friends. With the faith and love God's given, springing from the hope we know, we'll pray the joy you live in is the strength that now you show. To keep you close
Thank you, Ms. Slimko. As we transition into the next portion of our program, I would like to remind the audience that this is a formal ceremony. We ask that you hold your applause until each graduate has been honored. With everyone's cooperation, the audience will hear each graduate's name and the program will move along smoothly. However, after each graduate's name is individually announced, you are welcome to join in the Norris clap. Let's get down to it. I certify that each of the members of the class of 2022 receiving their diploma tonight have met the graduation requirements of the North Muskegon Board of Education and the Michigan Department of Education. We will now present the diplomas to the members of the class of 2022. Reading the graduates' names this year will be Senior Class President Gabby Gaston.
Brady James Lorenz Babcock. No. Noah Matthew Bamberg. Adam Jeremiah Batch. Laura Catherine Batch. Abigail Darby Bain. Trevor Chase Bell. Isaac David Bevins. Keldon Andrew Blastic. Michael Richard Bortman. Jason Allen Bogue. Noah Isabel Bowen.
I think so.
Dylan Scott Boyd. Stephen Brown. Whitney Lee Byard. Matthew Aiden Colbert.
I've seen you hit him. You're gonna need that.
Josie Faith Cook. Eliza Rory Crawford. Nicholas Kenneth Dana. Jasmine Ray Duncan. Andrea Figueroa. Jenna May Francis. Kelsey Nicole Fuller. Gavin McCoy Glom. Alex Gabriel Gomez. Carly Ann Gregg. Gavin Stephen Grimm. Tristan Bella Shreby Guerrero. Janae Hall. Anna Fane Hakela. Benjamin Clifford Hendrickson. Cara Cerise Renee Hilliard. Lauren Mackenzie Hoffman. Megan Elaine Hausman. Jack Philip Inyard. Alexis Grace Jant. Greer Dane Jensen. Emily Bryn Judd. Quinn Howard Kurzman. Hunter Douglas Kukuk. Ethan Robert Coleman. Alexandra Laura Lindsay. Kira Shea Lindstrom. Natalie Jeanette Lorenz. Nolan Isaac Mallory. Marie Martinez. Olivia Fallon Moulton. Maverick Vaughn Melenik.
Don't worry, I don't got a golf ball. Don't worry.
Samuel Phillips Netto.
That's a good pick right there. I'm sorry.
Tyler Aaron Newville. Nathaniel Lewis Nikoloff.
I don't got a golf ball.
Jackson Shannon Oliphant.
Guys, you've been practicing since noon, haven't
Serenity Ray Pastor. Ryan Thomas Peoples. Lauren Marie Peterson. Elizabeth Jane Piper. Juan Camilo Quintero Cano. Devro Vaughn Richards. Chase Alexander Robinson. Bless you.
couldn't be any worse. Yeah. Oh, we gotta go, but your grandma.
Madison Ann Rossler. Forrest Rust. Dylan Scott Schultz. Joshua Daryl Lawrence Schaefer. Katie Anna Simonson. Samantha Lee Slayton. Helena Marie Solberg. Nathan Michael Soroka. Yeah, Nathan. Luke Patrick St. Germain. Brenna Pauline Staley. Yeah, Brenna. Molly Louise Stewart. Tyler J. Chapkiss. Amaya Lachey Latrice Todd. Ginger May Van Antwerp. Grace Elaine Vanderwoody. Yeah, Grace. Finley Sapphire Vanderwall. Mason Thomas Van Wyck. Livy Christine Weatherby. Gabriella Jo Wingard. Logan Scott Walters.
There you go, kid.
I got one of these too.
Madeline Lee Wright. Taylor Champ Young.
It's now my privilege to announce our final graduate, Class President Gabby Gaston. Congratulations, Gabby.
I got one too. Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Let me start first. Okay, ready, guys? Ready? Go. Everyone got it? Yeah? Got it, Tinu? Got it. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Woo!
Well played, Jason, but if there's any Pro Vs, you're not getting them back. As Superintendent of Schools, I am pleased to accept the certification of requirements and recognize the class of 2022 as duly prepared to receive their diplomas for graduation from North Muskegon High School. Mr. Will Meyer, Board of Education President, and members of the North Muskegon Board of Education, it is with great pleasure and pride that I accept this class, the senior class of 2022, as having completed all necessary requirements for graduation, and do now officially pronounce them the newest alumni of North Muskegon High School. Congratulations, class of 2022, and Allie, please ring that bell.
Thank you all for coming. Have a great evening, and go Norse.
Hey.
gotta dug it.